Welcome back to The Trust Show. Today I'm continuing to read from my new book, The Trust Premium, but today we're diving into the second part of Chapter 5. Not all industries command the same level of trust or the same willingness to pay for it, a trust premium. Would you pay the same trust premium for a house painter as you would for a surgeon? Probably not. In this episode, I'll explore why trust matters more in some industries than others, what drives these differences, and how factors like risk, complexity, and customer relationships shape the trust premium in that industry. Let's get started right after this. Welcome to The Trust Show. I'm Yoram Solomon, your host, the author of the Book of Trust, and facilitator of the Trust Habits Workshop. My mission is simple. I want to help you form habits that build your trustworthiness, because the answer to this question will have the biggest impact on your personal and professional success or failure. Can I trust you? Industry context. Let's say you wanted to hire a painter to paint a room in your house. Let's also say that the project is expected to cost approximately $2,000. Two painters bid on this project. One that you feel you can trust more than the other. Are you willing to pay more? How much more? Is it 29.6%? Are you willing to pay $2,592 to the one you trust? Will your answer change if the service you seek is to remove a wisdom tooth for your daughter? One Friday morning, my older daughter, Maya, woke me up. She had pain in her jaw, which started at 5 a.m. and by 7 a.m. became intolerable. Naturally, we couldn't wait to schedule an appointment with a regular dentist, which would be at least 2 weeks out. There didn't seem to be time for that. This had to be dealt with right now. So I took Maya to an emergency dental surgeon who took x-rays and told us that one of Maya's wisdom teeth was descending into the nerve canal. There was a risk that the tooth would sever the nerve, at which point Maya would permanently lose feeling in the left lower face. Moreover, removing that tooth right now had a 50% chance of severing the nerve anyway, with the same outcome. Now, imagine that the price of such a procedure is $2,000. How much more would you be willing to pay to a dental surgeon you trust over someone you don't know? I bet it's more than 29.6%. Why are these cases different? Reflecting on the different scenarios, I concluded that the industry differences that affect trust preference and trust premium include the following. 1. The severity of the consequences of choosing the provider you trust less and having them not deliver what you expected. 2. The role that the provider plays in affecting the outcome. 3. How hard is it for you to know if they're doing their job right or not, and to take corrective action before the damage is done? And 4. Is this going to be part of an ongoing relationship? The absolute consequences. The trust premium is closely tied to the absolute severity of the consequences associated with choosing the wrong provider, which varies greatly by industry. Some industries inherently carry lower stakes, where mistakes or failures are inconvenient but not catastrophic. For example, considering hiring a painter to repaint a room. If the painter does a subpar job, the consequences are relatively minor. You might need to spend an additional $2,000 to hire another painter, endure some inconvenience and lose time, but the impact is manageable. Contrast that with industries where the stakes are significantly higher. Hiring the wrong surgeon, for instance, introduces far more severe consequences. A mistake could result in permanent physical harm or even death. In Maya's case, the prospect of nerve damage during a dental procedure made trust in the surgeon absolutely critical. Here, the trust premium increases dramatically as customers prioritize avoiding irreversible and life-altering consequences over cost. Photography offers another example. For a standard headshot session, the consequences of hiring an unskilled photographer are minimal. You might lose $300 and need to reschedule. However, for a wedding photographer, the stakes are far greater. A missed moment or poorly captured event cannot be redone, making trust in the photographer an essential factor. The absolute severity of consequences is an industry-level factor that significantly affects the trust premium. When the potential for harm, loss, or disappointment is high, trust becomes paramount, and customers are willing to pay a premium to ensure reliability and competence. Conversely, in industries where mistakes can be corrected with little effort or cost, the trust premium is lower. To summarize, the more severe the consequences of choosing the wrong provider, the higher the trust premium. Note, here I'm talking about the absolute severity of the consequences. However, I'll get back to the consequences when I talk about the personal context and the relative severity of the consequences, because losing $2,000 might have different impacts on different people. The role of the provider. Direct impact on results. The trust premium, the additional value customers are willing to pay due to their trust in a provider, varies significantly based on the provider's role in shaping the outcome, the exclusivity of their service or product, and the market structure, including regulatory constraints on pricing. When the provider has a direct and significant impact on the quality or success of the outcome, the trust premium tends to be higher. For example, a photographer's creativity and technical skill directly shape the results, making their trustworthiness a crucial factor for clients. Similarly, a financial advisor's expertise can profoundly affect the client's financial future, justifying a substantial trust premium because their actions directly determine the outcome. In contrast, the trust premium is generally lower when the provider acts primarily as an intermediary, as with an insurance agent. While customers value the agent's honesty and guidance, the ultimate outcome, such as claim settlements or policy benefits, depends largely on the insurance company. Consequently, the trust premium in such roles reflects the provider's ability to advocate and clarify rather than their direct influence on results. To summarize, the trust premium is higher when providers directly influence outcomes and lower when their role is more of an intermediary. Commoditization, standardization, and regulation. The availability of the same product or service at the same quality and price from multiple vendors further reduces the trust premium. In commoditized markets, where offerings are standardized and interchangeable, trust plays a diminished role in decision-making. For instance, if several agents offer identical insurance policies, customers often prioritize convenience or speed over trust. Conversely, in markets where providers offer unique or personalized services, such as a consultant with niche expertise or a designer with a distinct style, trust has much greater impact on value and thus premium, as the value of their offering cannot be easily replicated. Additionally, when prices are highly regulated, the trust premium disappears altogether. In industries where pricing structures are controlled by government or industry regulations, providers cannot charge above the set rate, regardless of how much trust customers may place in them. For example, utilities or certain healthcare services often operate under strict price controls, leaving no room for providers to leverage trust to command higher fees. However, trust preference may still be at play. To summarize, the trust premium decreases as products or services become commoditized and pricing becomes more standardized or regulated. Affiliation versus independence. The nature of the provider's affiliation also affects the trust premium. When providers worked independently, the trust premium is tied directly to their personal trustworthiness, as the customer's perception of value relies entirely on their skills, experience, and behavior. However, when providers operate under the banner of a larger company, a significant portion of the trust premium shifts to the trust customers have in the company's brand. A strong, well-regarded brand can bolster a provider's trustworthiness, creating a sense of confidence before the interaction even begins. The assumption the customer makes is that a trusted company hires trusted employees. Conversely, a weak or distrusted brand can undermine the trustworthiness of even the most skilled provider, emphasizing the interplay between personal and organizational trust in determining the trust premium. The trust premium moves from relying primarily on the provider's trustworthiness when independent to being influenced more by the company's brand when affiliated. The customer's ability to minimize damage. The trust premium increases when customers perceive higher risks and fewer ways to mitigate potential damage. Factors such as a lack of information, limited expertise, difficulty switching providers, delayed detection of issue, and challenging recovery scenarios drive customers to rely more heavily on the provider's trustworthiness. Conversely, the trust premium decreases when customers feel equipped to minimize risk and damage effectively, reducing their dependence on the provider. Here are a few elements of the customer's ability to minimize damage. Access to information. The trust premium is higher when customers have limited access to transparent, reliable information about the product or service. When data, specifications, or comparisons are unavailable or insufficient, customers turn to providers they trust to guide them honestly and effectively through the decision-making process. On the other hand, when customers have ample access to detailed and trustworthy information, they feel more confident in making independent choices. This reduces their reliance on the provider's trustworthiness, lowering the trust premium. Complexity. The trust premium rises in industries where the product or service is highly complex, requiring specialized knowledge or expertise to evaluate, which the customers typically don't possess. Customers rely heavily on trust to bridge the gap in understanding, ensuring they make informed and confident decisions. Trust becomes indispensable when the stakes are high and missteps are costly. Conversely, the trust premium tends to be lower in industries with simple, straightforward offerings that are easy to understand and evaluate. Customers feel less need to rely on trust when they can independently assess the value and reliability of the product or service. Ease of switching providers. The trust premium increases when switching providers is difficult, time-consuming, or costly. In industries where providers offer unique or specialized services or where switching requires significant resources, customers place a higher value on trust to make the right initial choice and not have to switch later. Conversely, when it is easy to switch providers, such as in competitive, commoditized markets, the trust premium is lower. Customers feel less dependent on the initial provider as they can readily explore alternatives if needed. Early detection of problems. The trust premium is higher when issues with the provider's performance are difficult to detect early. When problems only surface after considerable time or resources have been invested, and when the damage done cannot be undone, customers place greater trust in the provider to deliver reliably through the entire process. In contrast, when problems can be identified early, customers feel more in control and confident in addressing issues before they escalate. This reduces their reliance on the provider's trustworthiness, lowering the trust premium. Ease of recovery from damage. The trust premium increases when recovering from potential damage is complex, costly, or highly consequential. For high-stakes projects such as financial investments or legal matters, customers prioritize trust to mitigate the risk of significant harm. On the other hand, when recovering from damage is straightforward or the consequences are minimal, and as customers gain tools, knowledge, and alternatives to protect themselves, the trust premium diminishes. Customers feel more comfortable taking risks as the stakes are lower and easily managed. The more customers feel exposed and reliant on the provider to minimize potential damage, the higher the trust premium is. Ongoing long-term relationships. The anticipated duration of a customer-provided relationship significantly affects the trust premium. When customers know they must rely on a provider over the long term, they are often willing to pay a higher trust premium upfront. This reflects their desire to secure a dependable provider from the outset, avoiding the need to test trustworthiness repeatedly with each interaction. In long-term engagements, the stakes are higher because the cumulative reliance on the provider magnifies the importance of trust. Customers prioritize establishing a trustworthy relationship early, ensuring stability and reducing the risk of ongoing disruptions or dissatisfaction. By paying a premium, they aim to minimize the mental and emotional effort involved in continuously reevaluating the provider's reliability and integrity. In contrast, for short-term or one-time interactions, the trust premium is generally lower. When customers anticipate a limited engagement, they may not feel the same urgency to ensure trustworthiness as the risks and consequences of failures are confined to a single transaction. They are more likely to prioritize other factors, such as cost or convenience, over trust in these scenarios. The trust premium increases with long-term reliance on a provider as customers aim to secure consistent trust upfront. Industry examples. The following examples provide a high-level overview of how trust premium varies across different industries by examining the impact of various components within the industry context. While these examples highlight general trends and key factors influencing trust, it's important to recognize that the overall trust premium and trust preference are not a simple addition to these individual components. The relationship between components is more complex, with interactions and weighing that may vary depending on the situation. Additionally, trust premium is not solely shaped by industry context. Personal context also plays a significant role, as individual circumstances and priorities can dramatically alter the perceived importance of trust. Those are not included in this industry assessment, although you should consider them when you try to identify the customers who will provide the highest trust premium. More on that later in this chapter. Finally, to determine your industry's actual trust premium and trust preference, a detailed survey of potential customers is necessary to capture the specific factors and their combined effects. These examples are meant to illustrate broad patterns across industries while acknowledging the subtleties, nuances, and individual variations that affect trust premium in real-world situations. Here is a qualitative analysis of the trust premium for financial advisors using the 10 factors. Note that the ratings high, low, moderate, etc. relates to the impact on the trust premium and not to the level of this component. The absolute consequences, high. Choosing the wrong financial advisor can lead to significant financial losses, missed opportunities, or poor investment decisions directly affecting the customer's financial future. Mistakes can have long-term and potentially irreversible consequences. Direct impact on results, high. Financial advisors have a direct and significant influence on the customer's financial outcomes. Their expertise, decisions, and strategies shape the client's portfolio performance and financial well-being. Commoditization and standardization, low to moderate. While some financial products are standardized, example, mutual funds or ETFs, the service element, advice, planning, and strategy is highly personalized. This limits commoditization but does not eliminate it entirely in certain aspects of the industry. Affiliation versus independence. High for both, but varies. Independent financial advisors often command a higher trust premium due to their perceived lack of bias and greater personalization. Conversely, advisors affiliated with a trusted brand also benefit from the brand's established reputation, which can enhance the trust premium. The customer's ability to minimize damage, high. Customers often lack the expertise to correct or mitigate poor financial advice. Mistakes can take years to recover from, and the stakes are too high to experiment with low-trust providers. Access to information, moderate. Customers can research financial markets, firms, and advisors, but this information is often incomplete or hard to interpret without expertise. The customer's reliance on the advisor's guidance creates room for a trust premium. Complexity, high. Financial planning and investment strategies are inherently complex, requiring specialized knowledge that most customers do not possess. Customers trust advisors to navigate this complexity effectively. Ease of switching providers, moderate. While it is technically possible to switch financial advisors, the process involves transferring sensitive information and rebuilding a new relationship. This adds friction but does not make switching impossible. Early detection of problems, moderate. Poor financial advice may not show results immediately and can take months or years to manifest, especially in long-term investment strategies. Customers often realize issues after significant time and losses, although trends could be observed over time, especially compared to market indices. Ease of recovery from damage, high. Recovering from poor financial advice can be time-consuming, costly, and emotionally taxing, with long-term repercussions for wealth and financial security. Overall assessment, high trust premium. Given the analysis of the 10 factors, the financial advisor industry generally exhibits a high trust premium. Customers place significant value on the trustworthiness of advisors due to the high stakes, complexity, and long-term nature of the relationship. Trust becomes a critical factor in decision-making, often outweighing considerations like cost or convenience. Financial advisors must emphasize transparency, expertise, and a commitment to client success to capture and maintain this premium. My survey of 89 participants had put the trust premium in the financial advisor industry at 39.4%, the highest level I found to date. 27% of the participants were willing to pay 100% fee premium to work with a trusted financial advisor. Insurance brokers. The absolute consequences, moderate trust premium. Mistakes in selecting an insurance policy can lead to financial strain or gaps in coverage, but the consequences are generally not as severe or immediate as in other industries such as healthcare or financial advising. It also depends on the value you are insuring. Direct impact on results: low premium. Insurance agents primarily act as intermediaries. While their advice can influence policy choice, the actual coverage and claim outcomes depend on the insurance company, not the agent directly. Commoditization and standardization: low premium. Insurance policies are often standardized across providers, reducing the ability of agents to differentiate themselves on product offerings alone. This commoditization lowers the trust premium. Affiliation versus independence varies. Agents affiliated with well-known, reputable insurance companies may benefit from the company's brand trust. Independent agents may have a slight advantage in perceived neutrality, but this is less pronounced than in other industries. The customer's ability to minimize damage: moderate premium. Customers can mitigate damage by researching and comparing policies. However, a lack of expertise in understanding policy details means that they still rely on the agent's guidance to some extent. Access to information: moderate to high premium. While customers have access to online reviews and policy comparisons, the plethora and terminology of insurance terms and conditions often makes them dependent on agents for clarity and advice. Complexity: moderate. Insurance policies can be complex, but the complexity is usually limited to understanding coverage terms, exclusions, and premiums. This creates some reliance on trust, but is less significant than in more intricate industries. Ease of switching providers: low premium. Switching insurance providers is relatively easy in many cases, especially for standardized policies. The ease reduces the trust premium as customers feel less dependent on a single agent or provider. Early detection of problems: high premium. Issues with coverage often come to light only during claims, which can take time. Customers might not realize the inadequacy of a policy until they need it. When changing policies is too late, increasing reliance on the agent's initial trustworthiness. Ease of recovery from damage: moderate premium. Recovering from poor advice is generally straightforward, as customers can switch policies or providers. However, this process might involve some inconvenience or financial loss. Overall assessment: low premium. Based on the assessment of the 10 industry factors, the trust premium for insurance agents is generally low. Standardized products, minimal direct impact on outcomes, and relatively low absolute consequences of choosing the wrong provider all contribute to a diminished role for trust in this industry. While agents who go above and beyond to demonstrate trustworthiness can still command a slight premium, the overall potential remains limited. My survey of 124 participants support this analysis, showing a trust premium of only 5.5%, one of the lowest I have found thus far. It's important to note that the concept of trust premium holds limited practical significance for insurance agents. This is because agents are not directly paid by the customer, who pays a standard price for a policy regardless of the agent involved. Instead, agents receiving commissions from the insurance carrier. However, maintaining high trust is still crucial, as it drives a strong trust preference. This, in turn, significantly benefits their business by attracting loyal customers and fostering ongoing relationships, even if it doesn't directly translate into a higher premium. Lawyers and accountants. Absolute consequences: high premium. The stakes are often significant, such as winning a case, avoiding penalties, or ensuring financial compliance. Poor performance can lead to legal trouble, financial losses, or reputation harm. Direct impact on results, high premium. Both lawyers and accountants directly influence outcomes. A lawyer's skill can determine the success of a case, and an accountant's accuracy ensures compliance and proper financial management and tax liability. Commoditization and standardization, moderate to low premium. While some accounting services, for example tax preparation, are commoditized, high-value legal and financial advisory services are more personalized and less interchangeable, increasing the trust premium. Affiliation versus independence, moderate premium. Lawyers and accountants working independently rely heavily on personal trustworthiness. Those associated with reputable firms can leverage the firm's brand to enhance trust. Access to information, high premium. Most clients lack the expertise to evaluate legal or financial advice independently, relying on trusted providers to interpret complex information. Complexity, high premium. Legal and financial matters are often intricate, requiring specialized knowledge. Clients pay a premium to ensure their advisors can navigate these complexities. Ease of switching providers, moderate to high premium. While switching accountants or lawyers is possible, it's time-consuming and costly, particularly for ongoing matters like litigation or tax compliance. Early detection of problems, moderate premium. Errors in financial records or legal strategies may not surface until significant harm has occurred, increasing the importance of trust. Ease of recovery from damage, moderate to high premium. Damage from poor legal or financial advice, such as fines or lost cases, is often difficult and expensive to recover from. Ongoing long-term relationship, high premium. Many clients maintain long-term relationships with lawyers and accountants for recurring needs such as annual taxes or ongoing legal counsel, increasing reliance on trust. Overall assessment, high premium. Lawyers and accountants operate in industries where trust plays a crucial role. The significant consequences of poor advice, combined with their work's complexity and direct impact, create a high trust premium. While some commoditized services exist, the overall reliance on expertise and long-term relationships underscores the value of trust. My survey of 100 participants highlights the importance of trust in these professions. On average, the trust premium for lawyers and accountants was 34.1%, with 23.5% of respondents willing to pay up to 100% higher fees for a provider they trust. Although I combined lawyers and accountants in the analysis due to their similar characteristics, the survey revealed distinct trust premiums of 33.2% for lawyers and 35% for accountants, demonstrating consistently high customer willingness to pay for a trustworthy service in both fields. Furthermore, competitors would have to offer between 24.9% to 25.9% discount on their services to entice your clients to leave. Consultants. Absolute consequences, medium to high premium. The impact of choosing the wrong consultant can vary widely based on the nature of the project. For strategic or business-critical decisions, the consequences can be severe, such as financial losses or operational disruptions. For less critical tasks, the stakes are lower. Direct impact on results, high premium. Consultants typically provide expertise that directly influences business outcomes. Their recommendations and strategies shape decisions, making the role pivotal to the client's success. Some use processes, materials, and programs developed by others, but even then, in most cases, their personal involvement significantly affects the results. Commoditization and standardization, medium to high premium. While some areas of consulting are commoditized, for example, compliance audits, Many rely on unique methodologies or specialized knowledge and long-term experience. The degree of commoditization varies depending on the consultant's niche. Affiliation versus independence. Medium to high premium. Consultants affiliated with respected firms can leverage the firm's brand to enhance trust. Independent consultants rely heavily on their personal reputation, which can make the trust premium highly dependent on individual performance and credibility. Access to information, medium premium. Clients often have access to general information about consulting services and case studies. However, assessing a consultant's expertise's true quality or reliability often requires first-hand experience, increasing reliance on trust. Complexity, high premium. Consulting often addresses complex problems that require specialized knowledge, whether it's optimizing operations, implementing technology, or crafting a growth strategy. Trust bridges the gap in understanding and ensures confidence in decisions. Ease of switching providers, high premium. Switching consultants mid-project is often difficult and costly due to the specialized nature of the work and the investment in onboarding the provider. It would often require to go back to square one in the project. This makes initial trustworthiness a critical factor. Early detection of problems, medium premium. Issues with consultants often become apparent after they deliver their recommendations or begin implementation. While some red flags might surface early, for example, missed deadlines, the full consequences may only emerge later, elevating the importance of trust. Ease of recovery from damage, moderate to high premium. Recovering from a poor consulting engagement can be challenging, especially if it involves wasted resources, missed opportunities, or incorrect strategic decisions. Clients often pay a premium to avoid those risks. Ongoing long-term relationships, medium to high premium. Consulting relationships are often project-based but can evolve into long-term partnerships, especially if the consultant consistently delivers value, not to mention that the project itself can be a multi-year project. Trust encourages clients to extend engagements and recommend the consultant to others. Overall assessment, high premium. Consultants operate in a field where trust is paramount. Clients often rely on consultants for the expertise they lack internally, making competence and credibility essential. The high stakes of many consulting engagements and the difficulty of switching providers and recovering from poor advice contribute to a significant trust premium in this industry. I should note that consulting is a broad term and field, and thus the level of trust premium can vary significantly across different consulting fields. For that reason, I have not conducted a survey of consultant trust premium and therefore cannot validate my assessment here. Industry-specific findings summary. Trust premiums are not universal. They are shaped by the unique dynamics of each industry and even by specific context within the same industry. My assessment of the trust premium in financial advisors, insurance agents, lawyers, accountants, and consultants reflects general trends and insights drawn from the 10 components outlined earlier. However, your perspective may differ depending on your experiences, market, or particular niche. Even within a single industry, trust premiums can vary dramatically. Consider professional photographers again. A headshot studio photographer may carry a much lower trust premium than a wedding photographer, where trust is paramount due to the high stakes of capturing once-in-a-lifetime moments. These differences underscore the importance of context in evaluating trust premiums. Analyzing the trust premium in your industry. To understand the trust premium in your industry, begin by analyzing the factors that influence it. Evaluate the absolute consequences of choosing the wrong provider, the provider's role, including direct impact, commoditization, and affiliation, the customer's ability to minimize damage through access to information, ease of switching, early detection and recovery, and the nature of the ongoing relationships. This theoretical analysis, however, is just the first step. To refine your understanding, you must back it up with real-world data. Conduct surveys targeting potential customers to explore how they perceive trustworthiness in your industry. Determine which factors they value most and the extent of the trust premium they are willing to pay. This data will provide invaluable insights to help you prioritize your efforts and focus on the behaviors that matter most to your audience. I will detail the methodology for conducting these analyses and surveys in Part 4, the process. For now, use this as a foundation to reflect on trust in your industry and consider the proactive steps you can take to harness the trust premium effectively. Trust is not just an intangible virtue. It's a measurable advantage that can set you apart from the competition. That's it for this episode of The Trust Show. Today, I talked about how trust varies across industries and what are the factors that affect those differences between industries. In the next episode, next week, I'll finish reading Chapter 5 from the book and talk about the personal context and the factors that make some customers value trust more than others, as demonstrated by their willingness to pay a trust premium more than others. If you're enjoying the series, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. I hope this made you think a little differently about trust and how customers value it at a premium. May trust be with you. This was The Trust Show. What would you like to know about trust and trustworthiness? Let me know and I'll answer it in a future episode. I would love to hear from you. Email me at yoram@thetrustshow.com. If you like this episode, subscribe to the show so you will automatically get notified when I release a new episode. Rate it. Write a review for this podcast because those ratings help not only you, but also others looking for podcasts just like this. If you're looking for more resources to learn about how to build trust, be trusted, or know who to trust, look up my workshops, online courses, books, or go to my website, trusthabits.com. And remember that the answer to these two questions will have the biggest impact on your personal and professional success or failure. Can I trust you? And can you trust me? Thank you for listening or watching The Trust Show.